Click it on the other side, maybe not on the right side of the mouse pad.
There we go. Are we good now?
Technical difficulties.
Tonight we're talking about our top choices of what's the most haunted places in the United States.
Everybody breathe.
Good evening, savages, and welcome back to another episode of Savagely Paranormal. Tonight, we're going to dive into what we think are our top 3 most haunted places in America. So, where do we want to start?
I don't know. Who wants to
If
go
you
first?
if y'all out there disagree with anything, or maybe you have your own choice in the matter, drop it down in the comments.
Yeah, we love when people interact with us, and we love to see what all of our adoring fans, our savages, think about our current topics. So,
Hashtag Savage Squad.
yes. So, the Emily Morgan Hotel is my first choice, and that is in San Antonio, Texas. It is near the battlegrounds for the Alamo.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, like lots of people died. Like 600 recorded deaths on the land. They have lots of different, like a very big variety of activities. So, like shadow people and full body apparitions, and things are thrown.
Yeah.
And the elevators stop on random floors for no reason.
There's a reason.
There's a reason, but nobody
sees the reason.
The doors open and shut. Like, it's a lot of interesting activity. Like the most profound though is the shadow people that they see everywhere. And it's not even like one specific area of the hotel. It is widespread through the entire hotel. They have an entire floor, which is the 7th, I believe, that is completely like unused by guests. It's like a service floor, and they have the elevator frequently makes pit stops there. People have heard voices whispering in the hallways, people walking. It was once used as a military like hospital center with like doctors and dentists and whole 9 medical field offices. Yeah.
So you've got whatever happened on the land before this. Then you've got the whole battle. And then you've got what it's been used for since then.
Yeah.
That's just a big host of...
Right?
Yeah.
That's a lot of energy for like one area. Like this hotel sits like probably less than a mile away from where like some of the big major battles of the Alamo took place. I think a lot of this could be residual.
Some of it I'm sure, because I've been to the Alamo and that is all stone and everything gets imprinted on that. Hello.
Yeah, it's like a recording device.
So depending on how close it actually is to that actual location, I'm sure a lot of it is residual, but when you can interact with them and they're actually throwing things or whatever.
Yeah, some
I
of
would
the
say that's not.
The housekeepers there frequently like say that like they'll make up the beds and stuff and then like go into the bathroom to finish their cleaning and come back and like there's pillows thrown everywhere. Like apparently something must not have liked that you
they weren't
made
done with
the
their
bed.
Nap. Pillow fights in the afterlife.
The cool one was how you were saying that they would go in and the bathtubs would be full of blue water.
There was a manager that was on duty and she, at the end of her shift, she went into her room to retire for the evening, obviously, and her bathtub was completely filled with blue water. It's kind of
That's
interesting,
kinda cool.
kind of weird. Like, why is it blue? Why is it blue? Like,
Oh no.
did a ghost melt in there and make it blue?
Was it really
Ew.
water?
It's a
I don't
bathtub
know.
full of ectoplasm. Blech.
Ecto goo.
Blech. No.
I wonder if it's like a Ghostbusters and reacts to music.
Oh. It's interesting. It's an interesting thought.
Maybe. Maybe it was Slimer's cousin.
Yeah.
Maybe
Really?
he was blue.
Maybe he was blue. Maybe. I don't know. I think it's an interesting place. I would like to go. Mostly, you know. You have all of the people that died at the Alamo,
Mhm.
and then you have whoever could have died in the medical facility.
Right.
I'm curious. I want to go see the spooky, weird blue water. I don't want to
Um,
stay in the blue water, but I
No,
want
I'm
to see
good,
it.
but I want to see it.
Pansy.
Test.
You can
You
sit
can-
in the
you
ecto
go
slime.
right
Why not? No.
I'll sit in it. I don't care. It's for science.
It's for science.
Science is good and all that, but no.
Until
For
it eats,
it is for paranormal research.
until it eats your.
We
Your
will
flush off.
document the research for you.
until
You
it
go play in
We're-
the slime.
Worst
eats
case
your
scenario,
flush
it
off,
acts like holy water.
Yeah.
and you sizzle.
And just start to dissolve.
Famous last words. I'm melting.
Where's Brian? Oh, well, it's kind of a long story.
We
He melted
it.
before he released his flying monkeys.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, like, I think it would be interesting. I want to see the ghosts that play pillow fights and turn the water blue. I
Yeah.
think it would be cool.
Maybe it was just a whole bunch of melted popsicles.
Where's the
The
sticks?
ghosts eating popsicles. In
Popeyes doesn't have sticks.
the...
But they have wrappers.
It doesn't matter.
Well, where'd the wrappers go?
In the garbage outside the room.
There's a 30-gallon trash bin down the hall full of Freezy Pop wrappers.
Or the
We don't know how the water turned blue.
tub of blue Superman ice cream. Somebody needed a late night snacky.
Why is there a blue food coloring bottle in the garbage? Shh. Don't. You didn't see anything.
Didn't see it. Yes, there's a lot of like full body apparitions that I've seen there too, though. So it's kind of it's interesting. There's
Well-
a huge slew of like just activity.
It was a
there.
very traumatic area.
That's true.
Most people who, not most, a good chunk of the people who died there probably died in a very traumatic way.
Yeah, you
So,
would almost expect
yeah.
for like the battleground areas to be haunted. It'd be weird if they weren't because so many people died so quick and traumatically.
And you figure if they used any of that building for medical during the war or battle or whatever you want to call it,
There's a lot of like traumatic
People would get-
amputations and
people would
stuff.
get transferred there. Whether they were already dead or alive, they would still be transferred and documented. So what happens when you die in a traumatic way? You don't always know it.
Right.
So that is the last place that they remember.
Very true. Very true. I think it's interesting. I want to go. I want to see the ecto goo in the bathtub.
Yeah.
I don't want to swim in it, but I want to see the
No,
goo.
I don't even want to touch it. I'm good. No.
I don't want to. I want to see it, but I don't want to touch it. No,
Yeah.
we're good. Mm-mm.
Touch it, you pansy.
No.
I'll take like a piece of paper and like dunk it in there and see if the paper turns blue or see if there's any goopies hanging off. But no, I'm not.
Dunkaroos. Hungry now.
Like ecto dunkaroos. Like,
Blech.
oh. That's so gross.
Looks like Jello. Everybody's got room for Jello.
No,
No, I'm good.
especially not now. No.
I don't want to swim in the ecto jello. I'm good.
Uh-uh.
What if it like eats your flush off?
Yeah, no.
That's
I'm
interesting.
good.
For science.
We could
Yeah, but I don't want to
wait,
be one of the ghosts there.
But
Why not?
wait, we have kids.
I
Multiple
have
We,
other
we would have
places.
evidence then.
But I have other places that I already have in mind to haunt. I don't
But
necessarily
we
want to be
have
there.
a surplus of children. between all
True.
of us. Just dunk a kid,
Yeah.
see what happens, and
If they start to dissolve, don't throw the whole thing in there, and I'll know.
Perfect candidate.
we don't know what happened.
I didn't bring him with me. I left him at home. What are you talking about?
He's. I don't know.
I left him with you. How did you lose him?
I mean, it's for science.
He is a scientist after all.
Is it gonna make him sizzle? I want to know. I want to know if does it make the people sizzle. I'm curious. I don't want to test the theory.
Or does
on
it turn him blue?
myself.
Does it turn you into a Smurf?
Yeah. Is it a portal to another dimension?
Oh.
Ooh.
You won't know unless you touch it.
I don't want to touch.
We're just gonna watch
We're gonna
you.
sacrifice the kid. Sacrifice the kid
getting
for the
taken off the air.
paranormal research.
CPS. Hello, let me in. It's a CPS. What's going on?
Yeah. Well, it was for science.
Right.
It's the bathtub to the blue
Lagoon.
kingdom.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So mine is the Velisca Axe Murder House.
Ooh.
That is one I really, really want to go to.
Where's that?
I don't remember. Iowa, Illinois. One of those.
I don't remember.
I had it in my head, and then I got wrapped up into your story, and it just went right out.
Should have went first.
I know, because I got wrapped up in her story.
And the ecto goo. you got.
I have it on my
wrapped up
tablet,
in the,
but
in the ecto goo.
so
Let's get Axe Murder House.
So there was Josiah, his wife. They had 4 kids, and then they had 2 other kids that were spending the night with them. Josiah and his wife were in the upstairs bedroom. Their 4 kids were in the other upstairs bedroom. Then the 2 children that were staying over were in the guest room. Iowa. See, I was right. It was Iowa. What they're assuming happened is back then you didn't lock your doors. It was a nice small town. Nobody locked their doors. It was back 1950s-ish.
I thought it was earlier than
Was
that.
it?
Maybe.
But so they went to bed. They had spent the evening out at the church. They got home, they were saying around 10-ish. Put the kids to bed. Somebody came in around midnight or after. They came in, they had a lantern that they turned down super low so it lit just enough so that they could see. How they know this, I don't know, but so they had the lantern in one hand and an axe that was found. That whoever it was found it in their backyard. They proceed to go up the steps. She murdered the Josiah and his wife first. And I guess it was just like such a grisly scene that he was stabbed with the axe over 30 times.
Wow.
His and her face, they were nothing but a bloody pulp.
Yeah.
They then proceeded to the children's bedroom upstairs. Did the same thing. Then they went downstairs to the other 2 kids that were there. Same thing. Then it gets really weird because apparently,
isn't this the house where the person that killed the family like covered all the
yeah,
mirrors and stuff?
and
so
supposedly
weird.
they're thinking that they did this after the murders. Now, I don't know if they're judging it on like blood spatter or what, but they're assuming that it was after the murders that they then covered the mirrors with sheets and covered the faces of all the victims with either sheets or articles of clothing. Gets even weirder.
Yeah,
They found a full slab of bacon, raw bacon, sitting next to the axe on the floor. And in the kitchen, there was a whole plate of food fixed and ready to eat on the table next to a bowl of bloody water.
Yeah, that's weird. So, like, he, like, made himself dinner?
and he washed his hands in the bowl.
But he didn't eat anything.
No.
That is so weird. That is so weird.
Yeah.
Sounds like a ritualistic murder.
That's what they were saying. There, some sort of ritualistic murder. So after this, they had the keys to the house at this point. They left and locked the door behind them, which was the other thing that made people kind of go, what the heck is going on?
Right.
So, there were two people of interest that they had at first. One of them was an ex-business partner of Josiah. I guess they were like arch enemies. But nothing ever came of that. And then there was the other person who I'm not 100% sure if he was a minister or like a traveling minister or if he was just like associated with the church somehow. But he was a wanderer. He would go here, go there. There's people that say that he had mental illness. There's other people that say that he did a lot of bad sexual things to people and were children.
Interesting.
You know, for back then, who knows? It's hearsay, so did he? I don't know, but there's quite a few people that say that that's who this person was, and it was stemming from some sort of mental issue. Why he would have targeted them, nobody really knows, but he was seen watching them at various times throughout their day and weekly routines. And he left town right after this happened.
That's sketchy.
Right.
That's a red flag.
And then one of the dry cleaners. Yeah.
I don't believe in
He
coincidence.
was a wanderer, though, so it could have been something that he had already planned. He was leaving then.
True.
But then one of the dry cleaners in the town, oh, yeah, I think he brought some bloody clothes in later that week. Again, who knows? That's one claim. But they eventually got him to confess to the murders, but then he recanted his statement before it ever made it through the end of trial. But there was a hung jury. But there have been numerous...
a lot of claims with that house. Like,
numerous big-time paranormal teams have been there.
yeah.
You have full-fledged apparitions, you have shadow figures, you have voices. There was a guy who was on the tour of the house who all of a sudden started stabbing himself.
Oh, that's weird. That's very weird.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's
so
weird.
I don't know.
I know that they, like, in one of the upstairs rooms in the closet, like, people have been locked in there and they've heard, like, voices and stuff while being stuck in the closet.
Yeah.
That's kind of sketchy.
Yeah.
Why you would go into a closet for no reason is beyond me. I'm good. No.
Well, you know what? Maybe one of the kids heard the commotion upstairs and ran to see what was going on and then saw this going on and hid in a closet.
Maybe.
Before they managed to make their way back downstairs. Who knows?
Right.
They could have been reliving what one of the kids went through.
It's possible.
Or, you know, one of the 4 kids upstairs could have heard what was happening, got up to look, went to hide in the closet, and then whoever did it dragged him back out, threw him on the bed, and then proceeded with his night of killing them. Who knows? But the strange thing is, for back then, there's not the kind of noise like there is now.
Yeah.
Granted, the houses weren't that close together, but they were close enough together for the neighbors to notice that they weren't doing their normal routine.
Yeah, why didn't anybody...
Nobody heard anything.
Yeah, I don't know how. I mean, I guess it's possible, but, like...
The guy
That's
or
weird.
whoever stabbed them had such force in his swing that he actually caught the axe in the ceiling when he was attacking the father.
How do you not hear people scream? Like, did
Right.
they not scream? Like,
There's no
how?
way that he was doing that and the lady did not even wake up or scream or anything.
Yeah, that's kind of weird. It's very weird.
There are times in moments of terror and panic, you can't make a noise.
True.
That's true. Or maybe they were worried that they'd wake the kids up, so they like force themselves not to scream.
True.
In an attempt to like keep him
True.
away from the children.
But with that force of what he did to them, even he would be making some sort of noise.
Right. I'm surprised that the kids didn't hear and like wake up and run.
Yeah, kid instinct would be to scream. I can see, an adult saying, I've gotta, so I don't wake the kids, but a kid is gonna immediately scream in terror.
Yeah. Yeah, that's just weird.
Yeah.
It's a very odd.
But then they have now said too that they've done a little more research, and there were a string of similar instances throughout the United States around the same time. So, if this person really was a wanderer, could it have been that person in as every place that they traveled to?
Yes. One of the first serial killers. Interesting.
Or maybe they just decided one set every other place, keep the heat off of them.
Right.
Yeah.
Because if it happens every place they've stopped, it'd be easier to track their whereabouts.
Right.
It would make it look like way sketchier. People would notice, like, oh, hey, he was in this town and this family died.
Mm-hmm.
And then he came here and another family died. And then he went there and another family died. Yeah, it would make...
Yeah, it was a lot harder back then to link them all together because, they didn't have the 24-hour news and stuff like we do now.
And
but
the databases and all that
right,
stuff. Yeah.
but when you're talking, like, church members and church families, there is still some communication.
Yeah, you would think that somebody would have to know something.
Yeah, so I would love to go there and just see what is still there and see if potentially you could actually get what really happened.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. That would be an interesting visit.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
I don't know if I'd really want to communicate with one of the children, though. I don't really want to go through that. But it would be interesting to get the perspective on one of the adults, maybe, and how it unfolded. And
While we're in Iowa, I could stop out and see one of my old sergeants.
Could be an interesting trip. Yeah. Yeah. So...
Your turn.
Yeah.
So my pick, and it's actually a place I've been, is Bonaventure Cemetery in Savannah, Georgia.
Oh, I want to go there so bad.
So as far as like hauntings and that go, or the history of the place, I don't really know much about it. I do know that it used to be an old plantation back during the slave times.
Lots of people probably died during that time on those.
Lots of slaves.
Like the entirety of the cemetery is the Bonaventure plantation. It's divided into sections. The only section I've been in is the Jewish section. Some of the things that are said about the place are certain nights, if you're out on the river that runs behind the plantation, you can hear sounds of like parties going on. Though there's no lights, no lights and nothing. You can't see anything, but you can hear.
It's a party from the afterlife.
Well, could it have been like an old plantation party?
Like an old plantation ball.
Yeah.
As far as going at night, I wouldn't know. Not allowed in cemeteries after dark.
Right.
Without special permission, so don't do it.
Right. But you could probably fit the entirety of the Mentor Cemetery inside the cemetery and still have room.
Wow.
That is how big it is. I have to pull up a picture of it at some point in time.
Yeah.
So.
Did you experience anything when you were there? I'm curious.
don't really experience things in the same way y'all do.
Oh, sure.
I mean, you get a sense that you're being watched while you're there. I went with the now ex-friend of mine before, and she was like, "Oh, I don't feel anything. I don't know what you're talking about. This place isn't haunted." And I stopped walking. Got about 25 feet away from me and couldn't move. Said she felt like there a whole bunch of hands were just holding her in place.
Oh, that's weird. That's interesting.
But once I got back up to her, she could move fine, so I don't know.
Interesting.
The ghosts were like, hold my beer and watch this. You want to feel something? I got you, boo.
It's one thing you don't do. You don't mock the dead.
No.
No.
No, that's not a good idea.
And that's just one of the places in Savannah.
Yeah, so there's the
I would love to go
whole
So
city is
everywhere down
haunted.
there, yeah.
So yeah, just to pull out one place, but Savannah is actually one of the most haunted cities in the world.
Yeah. They have so many places in Savannah and just in that general area.
They say that the Spanish moss that grows there only grows in places where innocent blood was spilled.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That is a
And I
big
think all
legend
but two
there.
of the squares have Spanish moss everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have. That's one of the biggest, like, I wouldn't say, like, it's kind of an urban legend, but not really an urban legend. Like, it's kind of an urban legend. That's one of the biggest ones
Yeah.
in the South is the Spanish moss only grows where innocent blood has been lost. So, it's an interesting Spanish moss everywhere down south there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
It makes you wonder. It really, like, I wonder how many people have died here. There's Spanish
And-
moss
Yeah.
everywhere.
And you can't just like clean that out of a tree.
No.
Especially not with as many trees as they have in the squares there. And it's only two of the squares don't have any Spanish moss.
It's interesting.
Hmm.
Makes you wonder what's so weird about those two squares.
Right?
Like,
Why?
The only two sections of land that didn't have any innocent blood spilled.
Yeah, but
How?
why? I don't know. But I would want to
I
know.
want to know. I want to know now.
So-
I want to know.
Yeah.
While I was down in Savannah, I'd actually went on the hearse tour twice while I was there. And they drive you around the city of Savannah in repurposed hearses.
That's
And they
cool.
point out all the buildings and what they used to be used for. One of the buildings used to be like their old-time morgue.
Mm-hmm.
And before they had all the abilities of we have today, the way they drained your blood is they stuck you up on a meat hook and sliced the bottom of your
Right.
feet.
Yeah, and just let it go.
And just let it drain.
Yeah, that's gross.
I mean,
Not like the way we do it today is really any better.
Right,
It's
right.
still just as gross, but
Yeah.
but I
It's
mean,
like
Your mouth
humane.
like a deer.
yeah.
Ugh.
well, you had to do what you had to do, and those means
Right,
to try to
I
keep
know.
the body from decomposing. We didn't have all the chemicals
Yeah.
back then that we do today.
Yeah.
I mean, there were ways to preserve it.
What the heck?
The light died.
We're talking and the light just got like. Okay, apparently the ghosts must really like this topic.
Either that or they're saying, shut up.
Stop giving away our secrets.
Spilling all of our secrets, man.
But no, if you ever get the chance to go and you get into Savannah, I do endorse the hearse tours if they are still going on.
Yeah. I want to go back to
I
Savannah.
want to go to New
so
Orleans
bad.
so bad.
We should make a big road trip and like hit all the cool like
I wanna
weird
go.
haunty places.
I mean,
that-
I
I've got
wanna
some
go there
vacation
so
coming
bad.
up.
We got
I
some-
want to
We,
go
we
to
could
the.
take a road trip to Savannah. Beautiful place.
I want to go to New Orleans. I want to go to the voodoo things.
I want to go to the
and-
Voodoo Museum.
Yeah.
I mean, we can make a week out of it. I mean, drive down to Savannah. It's only, what, 16 hours, I think?
Yeah, something like that.
And we can cut across into New Orleans.
Yeah.
and come back. Road trip.
Yes, I like the way you think. Road
Find
trip.
any other kind of little haunted place on the way back.
Spooky road trip.
That
Should
would
make
be
it happen.
so fun.
There, but while we're in the South, we have to stop at the Myrtles Plantation because that one is really haunted.
That one I do believe is in North Carolina. Or is it South Carolina?
I think it's South Carolina.
We hit that one on the way down to Savannah because they're both on the same side of the coast.
Yep. We got lots of places that we can hit between here and there. There's a whole lot of places.
Yeah, there is.
So many haunted plantation places and
It reminds me of
stuff.
the like map of the United States I have, and the like haunted places by
Yeah.
state.
Yep.
There's like
There's a new app out for that now too.
The map is, and looking at it, it's like every other place is in like the maybe like 20s, like the highest. Till you get to Ohio at 111.
Yeah, well, that I know there was a meme
Haunted
going
road
around.
trip?
What the heck is wrong with Ohio? Well,
the better
it's
question
Ohio.
is what's not wrong with Ohio?
that'd be a much shorter list.
Yes. I mean, but we don't have like tornadoes and hurricane. Well, we do have tornadoes, but we don't have like
I was
hurricanes,
gonna say you better rephrase
alligators.
It doesn't rain
Giant
spiders.
It doesn't rain giant spiders.
that. It can.
We don't have that many poisonous or venomous snakes in this area
Yeah.
to watch out for. Spiders. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, we don't have like the bougie cockroaches, little giant palmetto
No.
bugs. Oh, no. Oh.
Ohio hissing cockroaches. They'd be mutated from the power plants.
They would.
Right?
They
They
would
glow.
They would glow in the dark. Oh God.
You
Oh.
imagine seeing that scurry across your ceiling?
Oh no.
There's like two of them, just like something like this. Why are their eyes on the ceiling?
No.
No.
They don't glow the natural green, like glow in the dark color. No, they're like red or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They glow from the inside, so their shell lights up.
No. Ugh.
Ugh. I'm glad we have the same reaction to that.
No.
Whoa.
I'm not saying I'd like to see it, but it's one of those thought-provoking things I have.
It's
No.
one of those
That is
things.
the thoughts that create nightmares. No.
And now you know one of the things wrong with me.
That's like my worst nightmare is a glow-in-the-dark giant cockroach.
Mm.
Or like a glow-in-the-dark
Where would that thing scare
mutant
when I like
Jumping
spider.
spider.
Oh! That makes my skin crawl.
Now
Oh!
you're making me want to watch the movie Eight-Legged Freaks again.
No, I'm good.
Bye. No.
No.
That one is way funnier than at least Arachnophobia was.
Oh, won't even watch it. No.
No, you said arachnid. No. If
I've-
it's spiders involved, I'm out.
I don't like spiders,
Ugh.
but I've watched Arachnophobia.
Nope.
It's a good reason why I'm scared of spiders.
Won't watch it.
I won't watch it because I am terrified of spiders. No.
We
No.
we're way off topic, but yeah, yesterday at work, I'm walking and I'm like totally in a daze, and Tabby's watching me and she's going like this as I'm walking, and I'm like, what? She's like, you didn't see that? I'm like, no, what? She's like, you almost walked right into a spider, and I'm like, and they're looking, he's dangling from the ceiling, and we're all grown adults. Ah! So we yell for the baby of the crew, who's like 20. We're like, how are you with spiders? She's like, I don't know, depends on the spider. And we're like, can you come kill a spider? And she comes over and she's got her paper towel and she's gonna get it. She's like, how come nobody else could do this? I'm like, because we don't want to miss and have it swing back in our face. She's like, great.
Oh,
Ugh.
we get the cellar spiders that dangle from the ceiling at work, and I will stop dead in my tracks if I see one.
No.
No, I'm good. No.
You should have seen me the day the giant wolf spider crawled out from under a skid.
No.
No.
I put a bucket over it with a little note on it that said, "Do not move."
Yeah, no.
Yeah, no.
I don't do spiders.
Do spiders have ghosts?
You better hope not.
I mean, it would
Especially if
it would explain the phantom like skin
Right?
crawly feeling that
Yeah.
you get sometimes
When you're
you go
sitting there and you're
places.
watching TV or something,
You
and
feel
you
like
feel
something's
and
scurrying
you look
across-
and there's
Whoa.
nothing there.
You know why? You see nothing there? Because it's usually a cellar spider, and you can barely see them anyway.
Whew.
With their little hair-like legs.
Why? No. Oh.
We have
No,
them all,
but seriously,
we have them all over the house.
people have ghosts. Animals have ghosts. Are there ghost spiders?
And ghost bugs and
Ghost
I mean
bougie cockroaches?
oh.
You remember that cockroach you thought you killed, but you could never find it?
Right?
Oh no.
He's gonna come back and haunt you.
He said he's already haunting her. That's why he.
My worst nightmare is a bougie giant palmetto bug cockroach coming back to haunt me. Oh.
All those spiders you've squished in your lifetime, they're all just lining up, waiting for everybody else to join the crew. And they're like, all right, we got one more coming and we're going to go. You hear this army of spiders coming at you.
They all like morph into a giant spider. Oh.
On the list of palmetto bugs.
Oh. Oh. Georgia at night.
First time I ever saw one. Like up close saw one. Flying around the house when I was with my now ex-wife. Back when we were dating. And I hear a sound like they're
Yeah.
And it lands on the floor next to me.
Oh, and they make a big.
Every bit that big.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're big.
Should a 10-pound weight sitting on the floor. I just casually leaned over, picked it up, sat it on it. Didn't drop it. Just sat it on it.
All of a sudden, the weight starts walking across the floor.
The weight started moving.
Oh.
To which I probably picked it up just a little bit and dropped it. Splat.
Now, when you're in Savannah at night, it is not advised to lean against buildings.
Yeah, no, they move.
Oh, no, that's anywhere in Georgia.
Anywhere in the South. Don't lean against nothing in the dark, because you go have a whole army.
Where I was stationed was outside of Hinesville.
Oh, you're going to have a whole army of palmetto bugs everywhere.
Yeah, no.
The walls look like they're moving at night. Like, whoa.
I didn't have a flashlight. I could hear the walls moving. I was talking on the phone back before cell phones. I'm talking to my mom on the phone and keep hearing skittering. I'm like, what is that? And a car passed and the wall lit up, and I went, I'm going to have to talk to you later.
Slowly back away.
And it wasn't just the walls.
Yeah, no.
It was the cement sidewalk, too.
Yeah. Crunch, splat.
Yeah. Pretty much, essentially. Oh, no. Ooh, so there is one more place that I kind of really want to go to. Well, we can't.
There are quite a lot of places I want to go to.
I wanted to go, but they recently tore it down to rebuild it. I really wanted to go to Bobby Mackey's in Kentucky.
Yeah.
Because they had the stairwell to nothing and the
hole in the floor that was the
portal to hell. And
I know somebody that's actually been in that.
Ooh.
Yeah.
No, that is brave. No. But the reason they think.
But is it brave or is it stupid?
A little bit of both. So they had a girl in I don't know, the 40s or 50s or something. She was murdered, and her body was dumped 2 miles or so up the road, and the guy that murdered her surgically removed her head to keep her from being
identified.
Yeah. And the only reason they were able to ID her was because he left her shoes on. Kind of a weird thing for shoes to be the one thing that ID'd you, but okay. Apparently she was pregnant at the time. And a lot of people claim that he used her. The reason they could never find her head is because he used it for some satanic rituals. There's been a lot of rumors that satanic ritual happened in the basement there. They used to, originally it was a slaughterhouse for animals, not people.
Yeah,
well, maybe
and they
both,
have a chute that they sent all the Yeah,
and that's how they explained away the pit in the basement, the well. But No, I'm good. No.
Yeah.
And then the caretaker that lived there for a long time claimed that he was possessed while he lived there. I don't know how true that is.
I don't know, but there's been a lot of people that have either been there for any significant amount of time who have said that they have been possessed by things.
I wanted to go just to see it.
Just to see if
to see
it got me or not.
Yeah. But we can't now because they tore it down. But they're supposed to be rebuilding it.
They are.
And just because you tore the original building down does not mean that the new building is going to be magically fixed and not haunted anymore.
Right.
So,
and now you've pissed them off a lot more than they were before.
yeah, I'm curious when they finally rebuild, if it is ever rebuilt.
They are supposed to be.
If it's still haunted.
But is it going to be one of those where every time they try to rebuild it, some big catastrophe happens? And...
Honestly, wouldn't surprise me.
No.
I mean, there was a lot of things that like happened there. You know, they had like the stairwell to nowhere. There were like apparitions that were seen there.
Yeah, wasn't there a lady?
Yeah.
That was seen upstairs.
Yeah.
I forget. There's some big story with her too, and I can't remember all of it
remember
now.
the
But that
story,
was a big one. She appeared to like so many people.
Yeah. And, like voices were heard. The caretaker claimed that he had heard like a lot of like voices telling him to do horrendous things to people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that's one of those places that screams I'm not safe to go, but I want to go.
Yeah, but you really want to just go, yeah.
It's like poking the danger noodles, like don't poke me. But I want to. Don't touch the boat, but I want to touch it because you said it was haunted.
I want to see what happens when I do.
I want to see. I wanted to see the basement. I want to see the portal to hell.
Yeah, and I have a feeling that that's not going to be. It's going to be there, but you're not going to be able to see it.
Yeah.
You want to go see the entrance of hell.
But just because you close it or you put something over it does not mean it's gone.
It's, used to be a mine, I believe. I want to say it's over in Russia or whatever.
Ooh.
And
I think I saw that when we were looking through stuff.
It was a mine or a cave or something that was filled with gas, so they lit it to get rid of the gas. And this was in, I think, the 80s.
That sounds like a great idea.
Now, mind you, this happened in like the 80s. I think they lit it in the 80s.
Shouldn't people know better by now?
Yeah.
It's still burning to this day.
Holy cow. What?
That would lead me to believe that there's a natural gas
pocket.
Yeah, and it's just continuously releasing so it stays lit. But
cool story,
and
makes me curious.
Could it potentially have a nefarious background there?
I do believe there's a city in the United States. It was an old coal mining town. Same thing happened. Oh. But it was an explosion underground, and it's still burning.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Huh.
They found methane gas down there, and there was an explosion in it.
Fire.
It set the mines ablaze, caused an explosion, and the city is actually still burning underground.
Wow.
Fire. Yeah.
And the place is a ghost town, but it's not safe to enter because you can even see
because you could potentially explode at any given moment.
You're gonna go whoosh, fire.
Well, you can see like the steam in that coming up from underground still.
Yeah.
I want to see it. Can we drive by it?
Yeah.
It says that you can't go in it. Does not say you can't drive by it.
Foot in.
See how hot it is. See if you sizzle.
And I'm pretty sure it'll burn the soles off your shoes. The ground's still hot.
Yeah.
Ooh. Damn.
Extra crispy tan yourself.
We're gonna lay on it for 5 minutes. Flip. 5 minutes. Ooh, look at that.
Bake yourself.
A reverse tan.
It's a reverse tan. Oh, loud.
Almost as good as reverse base.
No. Should not ever been created. One of the worst sounds on the planet.
Yeah. No. So, yeah, no, we have a lot of, like, really cool... Ooh, another place that I really want to go to is Waverly Hills.
Yeah.
We
That
covered
was-
that one, though.
Yeah.
That was one of our all-time bucket list places.
Yeah.
Yes, if you haven't seen that episode, you'll have to go back and check that one out. 'cause
I want to
that's
go
a-
to Ireland. I want to go see all of
We
Ireland.
covered that, too.
I know.
Yes! That would be cool. There's a lot of, like, really cool, like, haunted places overseas.
Yeah.
There's a lot of really cool haunted places.
There's some cool ones in Australia, but I ain't ever going there because I'm not going where it rains spiders.
Exactly.
No.
No. And
You
everything
could never
tries
work in a
to kill
cranberry
you.
field either,
No.
No. Mm-mm. I don't want to go
especially
to
when they flood the fields.
No.
No, I don't want to go to a place where everything tries to kill me. I'm good. No.
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 Cranberry fields where the wolf spiders are employees.
No.
Mm-mm. No. No.
When they flood the fields, they try to get to the highest ground there is. You.
No.
Oh, no.
Not me, because I wouldn't be there.
No. Mm-mm. No. No. Ooh, the St. Augustine Lighthouse would be a cool one to go to. That's
Yeah.
Any lighthouse would be the cool one to go to.
That's-
I want to go to
that's
the
in
Fairport
Florida.
Lighthouse. That one's supposed to have some good stuff. And
That
there's a
one
cat.
has, yeah, there's a cat at the Fairport one. In St. Augustine, they have like the spirits of a few maybe kids that
Are
live-
they? Are they really?
I don't know. That's the story, at least, is that there are
In Megan's case, it's not kids.
Nope.
demons until proven otherwise. Sorry, not sorry. But there were quite a few kids that drowned on the, because they had this like car that used to like take you from like the top of the lighthouse down to like the water that they use for like storage stuff, like
Okay.
grain stuff, like supplies, and two of the lighthouse keeper's kids
Oh.
drowned
Yeah.
from going down the car.
Uh-uh.
You know, but they had a lot of, like, there were quite a few different paranormal groups from TV Land that went there, and
Hmm.
they got some really cool stuff. The one team had like somebody peek over the railing,
Oh, that's kind of cool.
and they
Okay,
promptly
cool.
ran up like all 1,000 steps to the top to see if there was anybody there.
I would
There was
no.
not.
I would have died. I'd have been like, it was cool seeing you, but
If you want
Could
to
you come
talk,
closer?
you come out here. My knees are old, and we don't do stairs like that.
no.
That's gonna suck for you once you get to the bottom.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
it's a lot of stairs. No, no.
There aren't elevators in lighthouses.
I know that's a lot of stairs. No, I'm good.
No.
I'm cool.
But on that note, I think we're about out of time.
Yep. Make sure you guys like, share, comment.
And tell us your bucket list compared to ours.
Yes.
Well, not
Tell
really
us-
bucket list. Your top 3 or
Yeah.
whatever compared
Tell
to
us
ours.
your top 3 most haunted places you want to see us cover and or go to, because I'm curious. Yeah, I think that's it for us, savages.
Bye.
The producer says we're good.